Hello, my yoga loves. So I am in Pace, Florida, kind of near Pensacola, and it's been raining all day. But in order to keep up with the filming schedule, I still got to do it. So welcome to the inside of the Velaterra. The good news is energetically I had already kind of planned a more yin practice for today. So go ahead, take a moment, grab your blocks, grab some pillows, maybe put on some socks if you tend to get real cold. We're going to do a lot of groundwork and relaxing. So while everybody's getting what they need, go ahead and come to a star pose, which is just soles of the feet together, further away from the hips. Take a moment, kind of settle the shoulders, exhale. And as you're ready, let your eyes close. All I want you to do is breathe. So there is some direct science about our breath pattern and our heart rate. We already know that, right? When our heart starts to beat faster, we breathe more shallow. So taking the opportunity to be the master of your heart by way of your breath. Take a deep exhale. Close the mouth, inhale through the nose. Pause. Exhale through the nose. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. And go ahead and let that go. Let the eyes open up. We're going to dive right into our poses here. So honestly it's called Swastika Pose. I think I've told you this before. I call it little cheerleader pose. So both legs are bent at 90 degrees facing the same way. You're going to turn your torso the opposite direction of the bent knees. So I'm going to readjust here. So keeping your feet flexed, knees bent, rotate behind you, drop the elbows onto the ground or a block or a pillow, and just breathe. Because this is a yin practice, we are going to hold the poses longer than normal. So figure out how to get comfortable. And also, if you are a very type A person and you're thinking, I did not sign up for this yoga today, that just means you need to do it, right? And just breathe here. And just how we began our practice a few minutes ago, stay present in your breath. So this is a really good pose for some low back tension. It's also good for women's menstrual cramps. And also if you feel like bloated or like you need help digesting, this is a nice gentle twist. Notice if you're holding tension in your jaw or your shoulders. Maybe settle in a bit deeper for the next few breaths. Carefully pressing up, untwisting really slowly. There's no prize for moving quickly. Sitting on your tailbone, knees bent, feet on the floor, windshield wiper side to side. And then sitting up, taking that pose on the opposite side. Always right, the feet are more flexed than pointed. Sorry, that's what I was trying to say. And then, oh, I gotta negotiate. Twisting behind you, other way. And allow this to be a time of nothing. We're not making a to-do list. We're not reevaluating conversations from 20 years ago, wishing we'd said something different. And if you find it really hard to create a space of nothing in your brain, do a little gratitude list as you sit here. Right? Coming from, I am so grateful that my spine can twist. Even if this is limited, I'm so grateful it's possible. Or I'm so grateful the lower abdomen can rotate. I'm grateful I'm able to sit on the floor. And if you're not on the floor, if you're in a chair and you're twisting behind you, arrange it so that way you've got like a table or something you can rest on. As you're ready, try to lower down a little bit more. One more breath. And then gently pressing up. Coming back to the center, just like we did on the other side. Knees bent, arms support you. And just rock side to side. So based on the mobility of your hip, for some of us, doing this pose here can be a lot, right? On the internal rotation. I guess that's actually external of the hip. So we're actually going to take that as a pose. I'll show you and then I'll move. So I want you to take your left ankle, cross it over your right thigh. The right foot is out wide on your mat. You're going to drop both knees to the left. Now, two options. You can lay back. I'm not sure if I can. Or you can just lean on your hands. I'm going to attempt to lay back. Good Lord. We're going to do this real sideways. It's fine. You do you, boo. So you want to create like an equal and opposite reaction, right? You want the right hip pressing towards the ground. It's not going to stay there. And then you want the left foot creating weight to like help pull your right knee so that way the hip is pulling out of the socket. Just breathe here. Yin practices can be some of the most challenging practices for Westerners because we do not understand the value of rest. When we think of rest, we think of naps or sleep, and we don't understand. I think there's like 7 types of rest, right? There's mental rest, there's emotional rest, and there's actual like sleeping. So we just don't place a lot of value on rest, and then that's why we're so anxious and we have so much caffeine and sugar, and we're kind of agitated as a culture. So I invite you to come into a space of like expansive rest. This is a good use of your time. You resting is important. I even think other cultures, they have dinner and it's like a 2 or 3 hour event, and they're present with one another, and they're dining and they're eating and they're enjoying. And Americans are like, grab a McDonald's on the way to practice. We're missing out on being present because we're just so booked. Come back to the center. If you're sitting up, awesome. If you're like me and you're on the ground, just kind of reorient. You're going to take your left foot a little bit outside of your mat, right foot to left knee, twist. And you can see, right, I'm using my block to help support that twist, because the point is to have ease. I don't want you to force these poses. There's a time and a place for us to stay in chair pose or lunge deeper, but that's not what a yin practice is. Sorry about the air. I turned it up to 75 thinking it wouldn't get hotter than that in here, but I'm sweating, so it obviously is. Couple more breaths. Walk your feet as wide as the mat. I'm going to be off center, obviously, because I can't lay with my head there. So feet are wide. Knock the knees in. For some people, this is really easy. For some, it's very difficult. So if it's really easy, I want you to begin practicing pushing your low back flat and pulling the knees in. If it's really difficult, it's okay to keep an arch in the back. Yin practices, we focus on our hips and our low back, right? I mean, that's just where most of us are knotted up. And it's a little difficult to hold some of the shoulder stretches or things like that because they're not as restful. So that's just a little thing I've noticed. Gently release the knees. Walk the feet back so they're parallel with the hips. They're in line. Pick up the hips, grab a block, grab a pillow, set it underneath. We're taking a restorative bridge here. And just let your arms settle by your side. Maybe as you're laying here in a space of gratitude, you extend that gratitude beyond your physicality, right? Maybe you've worked your way. I'm grateful for my toes. I'm grateful for my ankles. I'm grateful for my heart. Maybe you worked your way through that and you're starting to feel antsy. So maybe you start to extend that gratitude to humans that you love or music. And just begin thinking of all the things you're grateful for. Like being born in West Texas, every time it rains, it's magical to me. Even in Houston, when it rains like 20 days in a row, I'm like, oh, the rain. So here we are in Florida, hoping to go to the beach, and it's just rainy and gloomy, and I don't even give a crap because it's rain. Ugh. Rain is magical. It's life-giving. So yeah, that's, I think, one of the growth edges of gratitude is when something isn't going how you want it to, finding the gratitude in it. That is a true attitude of gratitude. It's very easy when things are going our way to be like, oh my goodness, I'm so grateful, I'm blessed, hashtag blessed. Sorry, that was mean. But you know what I'm saying. Like, can you be hashtag blessed filing bankruptcy? Can you be hashtag blessed in the middle of a nasty divorce? Like, what about that human experience is real and can offer you a place of gratitude? And sometimes when you are in the thick of it, maybe you're just grateful you're breathing. And you know what? That's a damn good thing to be grateful for. Couple more breaths here. Pressing through your heels, lift your hips, remove your block, pause. Just feel the spine. Does it feel different than the first few minutes of practice? How do the hips feel, the low back? Take a couple of breaths. Extend your left leg long. Bring your right knee into your chest. Half happy baby. So if you can reach the outside of your foot, awesome. If not, you grab the inside of the thigh. The goal is to keep the left hip on the ground. And if this is just very uncomfortable, you can scoot towards a wall, bend this knee in, and put this foot on the wall, right? That way, the flying foot, that way you have some support. There are so many things that we already maybe feel forced to do or that feel hard to do, that our practice does not always need to be that way. In fact, rarely ever does it need to. Resist the urge to wiggle. Gently bend in, both knees come to the chest. Extend the right leg long. And then come left side, happy baby. Acknowledging that each side is different. And just meeting yourself wherever you are, in a place of non-judgment. If you have notoriously tight hips, if your low back and knees are always hurting, do this practice every morning before you get out of bed, right? All of these poses you can do in bed. I mean, it seems silly to just kind of accept and own, oh, I have knee problems. No, don't accept that. No. Maybe accept, okay, I have knee problems and I'm going to fix them. Two more cycles of breath. Bending in, both knees come to the chest. Just take some knee circles here. Round and round. And then come back the other way. Come back to the center one more time. Grab your block or a pillow. Mid-level height, get it lower than normal. So it's like on the top of your glutes, right? So it's not on the sacrum, it's on the actual fleshy part. And then I want you to just windshield wiper the knees very slow, very small. Maybe they're going like a golf ball's distance back and forth from center. This should get into the muscles that support the sciatic nerve. So if you have any sciatic nerve pain, this could be really tender, but oh, it might feel really good afterwards. A couple more side to sides. Like I said, it's not a very big movement. Come into stillness. Pick up the hips, remove the block. Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. One hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Just take 3 cycles of breath here. Ever present. At the end of your 3rd breath, you can stay in Supta, or you can extend out for Savasana. Take the corners of your mouth and turn them up. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Come to a fetal position on the left. Big full inhale and sigh. Gently pressing up to a simple seat. Rub your palms together, getting them really warm. Keep rubbing. Cross them over your heart. Allowing your breath to be the master of your heart so that you are intentionally the master of your life. Equal parts rest and activity, equal parts self-love and love for others. Bringing your hands to heart center, the place in me that is perfectly balanced, acknowledges that place in each of you. And together we say, Namaste. Thank you, my yogis, and thank you for being flexible in my practice as it changes with you. Have a good day.